Adam was sexy.
Yeah, but she's fairly happily married.
God
has a couple
damn
of
it.
kids.
Yeah. All right.
But
well,
she's kind of a wild child, so you never know.
Yeah.
There's going to be some tail at that wedding.
All right. Noted. Tail and taffeta.
No show that day.
My favorite morning show.
Yeah. Well, you seem like you're doing well in the sense that this is pretty surprising to us.
I've obviously been privy to this information for a number of months, so I'm fine.
Do you think not COVID itself, but like the lockdown, the everyone on top of each other, like you say, you obviously have square footage, but everyone's at home with the kids. Did that exacerbate things?
It was probably harder for me and Natalia than it was with Lynette. Oh. Natalia was much more
but just that aggravation
whipped
in the house,
up.
Though, right?
Yeah, you could chalk it up to things like COVID, except for this, we were kind of heading down this path, pre-COVID. Right. So it's been a long time in the making. And, maybe actually it's probably, or it should be, a good thing. So ultimately, right. but and also part of it is nobody wants to walk around kind of nursing a secret, So it's like shit comes up where they go like, hey, we're going to invite you out. Your wife's coming, and stuff. And then you have to go, well, no, she's not around. It's kind of, you feel like you're harboring something, And
it takes a lot of energy to keep that up when people are just asking questions that they don't.
I always say that about people who cheat and we talked about like pedophiles and stuff like that, like just walking around with this thing in your head of like, every time the phone rings or there's a text or something like that, what does this mean? Yeah. Who's going? But yes.
No, as it pertains to this situation, your situation, it's how I felt when I was first diagnosed 12 years ago. It's like, I can keep this a secret and we can like be a family thing, but at a certain point, it's going to become very evident to everyone around. You know what I mean? Like that house of the dominoes are going to fall.
People are going to have questions about the walker.
Yes,
precisely.
Eventually.
Yeah, getting a walker.
All right, so
we love you. We love. Lynette is a wonderful, amazing person, and I'm sorry that you're going through this.
Yeah,
thank you.
Genuinely sorry.
Not my life plan, but when one door closes, another one opens, as somebody once said.
You know what my therapist says? When one door closes, another one opens, but the hallways are hell. So maybe you feel like you're in the hallway right now.
Yeah. All right, so do not cry for me, Argentina. I'm fine. And again, as newsy as this may be to some, it's oldish to me. Right. So it's not like I'm, found out this morning I was getting divorced. All right, I brought my phone in here, which I never do.
This is an odd day.
I know.
Can you download Tinder, Gina?
Jesus Christ. Maybe he wants a growler, bear.
What?
What's it called?
Is this gay stuff?
Yeah. Grinder.
Grinder.
Oh,
growler.
Bear growler.
I got John Popper's text about the gun that shoots 18,000 yards per second.
Jesus fuck. Our guest Dave was a sniper. He probably knows all about that.
Yes. So just so you know that John Popper's insane. This text randomly showed up. So anyway, we hadn't corresponded in about a month. Anyway, said, hey man, it took me until just now to ask myself, is there a gun that shoots 2,000 yards per second? That was the misinformation I gave about his gun because it shoots 2,000 feet per second. And it turns out there's a 20 millimeter cannon and a 30 millimeter cannon, or even a 50 caliber, that does about 1,000 yards per second. So I cut to the chase, and the fastest projectile ever moved, larger than a speck of dust. He must have been high when he sent me this. Then he writes in parentheses, the hardened collider is a fired projectile, see below. Then he sent an article from the New York Times. Using an experimental gun about 60 feet long, scientists at the national laboratories, wherever, blasted a small projectile at the speed of 10 miles a second and then went on to write 10 miles a second, and then he wrote, I want one. And,
for the squirrels.
And then he sent me the same email again.
Oh, okay.
So that's my John Popper munitions update.
It's so funny because you think oh, John Popper, he's, like an amazing musician, super laid back, fun songs, soulful guy. In my wildest dreams, I wouldn't have thought this was part of his personality.
Well, this is going to be the problem with, the gun buyback or the assault weapon or the AR-15 reclamation or whatever it is. Guys don't like guns. They love guns. The guys who love guns.
Right.
The guys, I'm not a gun guy, but gun guys, they don't have the relationship with it that, there's a lot of people that drive cars, but they're not car people.
Right.
And if you said, I could offer you public transportation, get you where they go, good. I don't even want to, they moved to New York and they leave their car back in L.A. or whatever. But gun guys love themselves some guns.
Wow.
And this is what we're facing in America. I do not think we're going to get those guys to give their guns back.
I don't think so.
Part of the problem is, in getting their guns back, they have guns. You got to do the math on that.
Does I don't follow the gun debate that closely. Does any reasonable person want to take guns away? I think they're trying to make it harder for crazy people to get guns.
They have thoughts about. I know
that's the scare tactic, like Obama wants to take your guns away.
They have the AR-15 buyback or something. There are things that have been done. There was an assault weapons ban.
Okay.
And that wasn't really effective, so they got rid of it because all the crime is handguns.
Right.
So we're at this. We're in a weird place, which is Black Lives Matter, but we're focused on white cops killing unarmed black men, which is minuscule, and then black men killing black men, which doesn't fit the narrative. But if you really want to stop black men from getting shot, then you're going to have to start focusing on black men shooting black men in, the inner city. The gun thing is we're all whipped up on assault weapons. Assault or so-called assault weapons, they don't really account for any killings.
Volume.
It's vastly handguns, and then I don't think AR-15s are less than knives, feet, and fists, in the lives taken. So you can ban them or you can take them back, but you're still going to have the same amount of handgun deaths, ostensibly. So then you got to get into handguns or gun. You're going to have the same amount of gun fatalities. Most stuff isn't done with rifles. It doesn't make sense. You can't walk around holding a rifle without people noticing. So now you got to get into handguns, and good luck with handguns. Yeah.
Is John Popper friends with the Motor City Madman?
He should be.
Yeah. Can you get them together?
He never brought him up, although he did say hi to Gary Louris from the Jayhawks.
No. We're not trying to go that direction.
100%. Bullshit.
That's who I want to be friends with.
Yeah, so there's that update. Yeah, I don't know what we're going to do about guns. They've tried in some places, I think Australia had a mandatory rifle buyback, which bumps people because it's mandatory.
But it worked, right? People were like, okay.
Maybe, I don't know. I don't know how it worked or if they're still doing it or how it worked, but we're going to have trouble in this town.
I know Australia is really big, so that's a terrible example, but I can't help but always think about everybody, shits on this country and we have so many problems. Well, when you think about, say, Europe, every one of those countries is the size of a state. If we were just doing something with a state in the union, we would be successful at it too. You know what I mean? If we just had that many people.
Well,
and I'm sure it'd get tweeted, but it makes sense, right?
Yeah, the problem that they always do is they go, well, Chicago has some of the strictest gun laws in the nation. They go, yeah, and the people bring the stuff in from, Michigan and Wisconsin who don't have, so then there's that. How do you prevent that? All right, we got Dawson's stand-up. We got an article out of Chicago, nothing to do with guns. We have, God, what did I write down here? All right, Keygate.
Oh, no.
Did we wrap up Urinal Gate?
Are we just letting that go like it never happened?
Well, that's getting filed under, where's Jimmy Hoffa?
Right.
The toilet paper got thrown away. You're welcome.
Oh, is that you?
It was me.
Did you have gloves?
No, I was confused because Kalen, I thought he said he got rid of it, but
He did say he cleaned it.
It was clearly in there, and I poked my head out to Gary, who was sitting, 10 feet away. I'm like, is this the same? He's like, yeah, it's the same. I'm like, all right, well, something's got to be done.
Oh, good.
So
here comes Kalen.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no, he doesn't. Here come.
Kalen is not going to defend himself. Well, Emmy's here.
Uh-oh.
So as you know, or maybe I've talked about on the show, I'm a deliberate person. I do things deliberately. If I have a mug, a cup, a travel cup, or anything, and I need to bring it home, I put it by the door, and I'll put it on the floor. And then people kind of surround me and undo my stuff. Like, I pick it up, I put it in the cupboard in the back, and it's like, I don't know it's there.
Yeah.
You didn't say it was there. So I do a lot of stuff. I told you, was I talking about the garage clicker in the garage door?
Not recently.
So I just gotten a minor dust up with an old guy who understands I'm a deliberate person. She's a deliberate person. So as I told you, one day after she left for the night, there's a big Tupperware thing of chili sitting out on the countertop with the lid off. And I just sort of looked at it, and I was like, that is not an Olga move. Olga screws a pooch once in a while, but she's not going to leave with the lid off.
No, Phil's going to destroy that.
What's she doing? She just went home for the night. It's a big bucket of chili with the Tupperware cap sitting next to it. I looked at it for a little while, and I went, all right. I put the lid on. I put it in the refrigerator. And then I said to Olga the next day, you left the chili out with the lid off. What was that about? Because it's not like her.
Right.
And she said, well, it was hot.
Oh.
And it'll go in the fridge. It'll sweat.
That's true.
You got to let it cool off.
It's true.
And I went, that's why you did that. But didn't fit my pattern.
Right.
I didn't have any explanation for it. So I do things that are deliberate all the time. Put stuff and I got in an Olga a little bit the other day because I got the garage clicker for my house that's in the Z car, and it's not in the car I'm driving. So I had to pull out the other day during the daylight hours, going to be gone for an hour, and I left the garage door open. Of course, when I pulled back in, Olga had closed it, which meant I had to get out of the car, and I'm having key-related issues we'll get into in a moment. But I was like, I had to go in the house, walk around, hit the button on the wall, then come back and get in the car. And I said, Olga, when I leave the garage door open, I'm leaving the garage door open. I'm not backing out and forgetting to close the garage door. I like that you're walking around doing this stuff, but understand I'm super deliberate.
Right.
I didn't space out on it. So I'm probably most deliberate with my keys. My keys, I always put on the table out there.
Same.
I always put them somewhere. I oftentimes leave them in my car. I never want to look for my keys. The other day, actually was here yesterday. I had a steak and some egg salad that the old guy made. Had to put it in the fridge. Put the keys in the fridge. Didn't want to leave it in there. But I'm very calculated with all my stuff. So I had the Z car parked here, and I was out driving the Lincoln SUV, but it had my whole key ring on it. So Malibu, I just need one key in and out. The key ring is more for the shops here and the home and that kind of stuff. It's got the key fob for the Z on it as well. So at some point when I'd been in Malibu for a few days or something, it was time to come back, I was like, where's my key ring? Where is that? So I did what I do. I went to the Z car and looked in the cup holder because that's where I would leave it. Was not there.
On the tire?
Not on the tire.
Under the tire?
Then I went inside and went to that front table. It's like, I would throw it down here. Looked around the front table. Not there. Then I said, well, maybe I took it with me in the Lincoln. Not my move. I don't like to separate the key from the car. See, I had the Z keys, and I'm leaving the Z here. I don't want to take the Z key with me, but who knows? Maybe I just threw it in the armrest or whatever, the trap on the Lincoln. Then I went out and searched the Lincoln. All right, so it's not in the Lincoln. It's not in the Z car. It's not on the table here. It's not in the bowl that's out front. when you enter, now where the hell are those